Why to visit Europe? It's a great question, and one of the main reasons overall is the great history the continent has. It has come a long ways to Greece in going to the Middle Ages. But what can we do there? It's principally sightseeing, that's what you will do there. You can see in the religious tradition lots of churches that were made during the Middle Ages with a lot of art and beautiful architecture and simply marvelous to see. Some examples in France are the Notre Dame Cathedral and the Sacred Coeur. In Spain we can find the Sagrada Familia of Gaudi and St. Philip's Church, among others. And in Italy, with no need to add any more, simply the Vatican, chapels, and St. Pierre Basilica. In other representations of architecture, we can find many marvelous and simply astonishing buildings. In France, we find, for example, the Eiffel Tower, the Louvre Palace, and the Triumphal Arch, and much more. Then comes Spain, with no less than Antonius Gaudi's architecture, in manifestations as great as the Sagrada Familia already mentioned and Park Güell. And last but not least, Italy, with the Leaning Tower of Pisa, the Colosseum, the Roman Forum, and much more archaeological sites. And at last, maybe not as impressive, but yet as important, the museums and the history itself of the continent. First, in France, we can find the Louvre Museum, of course, the French Aerospace Museum with lots of planes from the Second World War and more, the Spruce Goose, and the legendary Concorde. And very important to me, the Army's Museum, uniforms, and most important, Napoleon's tomb. In Spain, we find the Bellas Artes Museum, the Picasso Museum, and more museums dedicated to natural history and also more arts. In Italy, in Rome, we can find several archaeological sites from the ancient Rome and also all the Vatican's museums, chapels, and in them many relics, the architecture itself, paints, etc. At last, we get food, which is a very important part of European culture. In Italy, you can try a traditional pizza or many other traditional dishes, which are really delicious. In Spain, you can go without trying the tapas, which are small plates made from various ingredients. And from France, you have to try several types of dishes and desserts that you simply can't miss.
Created using Powtoon.